pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, everybody. But this is obviously y'all know that this is for a meeting to interview the top 4 candidates, so that everybody knows we had a total of 17.
15 and 2 of them.
Yeah, there's 17 people checked in about it, but we only got 15 different applications. But this here, the Wednesday night, we sat down and got down to the final 4, and this is for the interview for those 4. And just so everybody knows, it's just an interview with them talking to us. We asked everybody to be here so that way there could be transparency going on. That way everybody can see the questions and everything that's going on. But we ended up running into a little bit of a dilemma. Our first candidate was supposed to be here at 7:10 p.m. Some of us know he was delayed and he's not going to be able to make it here because of an extreme emergency. So we might be running a little bit late. I know you're filming, and we're supposed to be filming for the next 10 minutes with his interview, and obviously it's not going to be there, so you can pause it or whatever. We have the candidates coming in at different times. That way they can't hear the same questions, give everybody equal opportunity to be prepared for the questions. And the second candidate is supposed to be here at 7:10 to be interviewed at 7:25. So there's going to be a little bit of time waiting for that person to come in.
We wanted to have this open meeting. We could done it behind public board, but we wanted to so the public can be hearing. We had a list of nice candidates to be volunteers.
No, like I said, I know we were supposed to start at 7 o'clock, but we'll be a little bit of a delay here, so we have to wait for that person. I should say the second candidate to show up.
So the first one's not going to be able to come at all?
I'm sorry,
The
please.
first one's not going to be able to come at all now?
Because of his emergency, we are going to give him the opportunity to reschedule at another time. We'll have to have another meeting between now and Tuesday, because Tuesday is our makeup meeting. So we're going to get with him and see when he can schedule in meet 24-hour notice. Is that going to be a problem with this on Sundays? I mean, I don't want to be here on Sunday because I'm in church. Figure out whatever this is here. Okay, well.
So I'll make 24 hours of notice. Yeah, it does go in the month, so we'll get.
It's the prime time, I think Monday, let's say Monday evening would be great. Give him also plenty of time to
Find out what's emergency.
Yeah. that way if he has things he has to take care of, that way we just set up in Monday evening.
Good, good.
Yeah, we'll set it up.
So it for
So it's-
for 24
I'll make
hours.
a motion instead of emergency meeting to interview this candidate.
Make a motion to do the 24-hour notice for the first 23. Yes.
Yes. Again, make it clear, we just do a 24-hour notice for to have a meeting. If it fits with the first candidate's timeline to be Monday at 7 p.m. If something else changes, we will notify everybody by public notice that it's time changes.
You want to explain how we're going to do the questionnaire? As far as they can come in, certain, while we have a certain, and
Yeah. Just to make it clear, we do have each candidate coming in at separate times. So that way, when we ask them the questions, the other candidates don't have time to prepare to get the same type of notice as the first one and stuff. And like the first one set up, we come in at 7:10, the second one come up at 7:25, third one come up at 7:40, and the fourth one come in at 7:55.
and when they come in, if they have their question, answer the question, they can remain here inside. They can't talk, they can't say nothing, they can't answer the question. Now you can sit here where they can go ahead and leave
After their interview.
You know, it's set up in the car. Right. Who else is your
Well, it's very nice.
If I can get everybody's attention again, Ms. Steinley, you weren't here to see if it's, the first candidate is supposed to be here. We were supposed to start his interview at 7:10. There was an emergency on his part, so he was not able to be here. So you are prepared. I know we have you set up for 7:25, but if you are prepared and are willing, we can go ahead and get started, or we can wait till 7:25 if you'd like to have.
Oh, thank you.
Well, could I, at this time, I'd like to ask Kristen Steinley to come up here. She is candidate number 2. Yeah, and if you would, if you would like to tell us a little about yourself and your background.
Sure. So good evening. My name is Kristen Steinley. I have been resident of Tate Township here since November of 2021. We moved here from Reading, Ohio, so Hamilton County, a little closer to the city. I am a lawyer by trade. I've worked in several different positions. I've actually been truly blessed. I've worked in larger sized law firms, medium sized law firms. I've had the distinct pleasure of clerking for several judges. I've taught legal writing at Chase College of Law, so I've sort of gotten to see a little bit of everything. Very, very lucky. And we moved out here in the fall to sort of start a bit of a different life. We didn't have a lot of land, and we wanted to have a little more space. I have 2 small girls. So we moved out here and have been sort of getting settled ever since.
Okay, first question. Why are you applying for the vacancy of the trustee position? How many township meetings have you been to in the past 18 months?
Okay, so why am I applying? I'm applying, I think, for 2 reasons. Number one, I think I have a unique skill set that can perhaps benefit our township. And number two, I think it's very important to steward our community. So sort of starting with the second one, as I just shared, we have not lived here our entire lives. We, again, moved here in the fall of 2021. But we moved here very intentionally. We moved here to have, to perhaps start a farm, have a garden, have some animals, teach our girls responsibility, things like that. And we love this place. We love this town. We love this community. And I think it's really important to use whatever skills you have to benefit the community in which you live, whatever those might be. My skill set, I think, is unique just because, as I've observed and experienced over the last year and a half, there's a lot happening at the township level. There are things changing. There are significant responsibilities that have been placed on our trustees. I think that those are known to our trustees. I think they carry that weight. And I want to help. To answer your second question, Mr. Wilson, you asked how many meetings I've attended. My first trustee meeting that I attended would have been February of last year, when there was the large discussion about the solar regulations and the way the laws had been changing and what was happening and what rights and responsibilities were sort of being conferred on the trustees. So that was my first meeting. I attended several meetings regularly after that. I'll confess I haven't counted them. I would say probably somewhere between 8 and 9 maybe since then. Don't hold me to that. Again, I didn't count. I didn't look back. I tried to be there, right? If, I do have 2 small kids. When our time is brutal, they get sick. I do have a full-time job currently, so sometimes I might have obligations that go in the evening, but I try to attend and be present. And I think that while I'm not per se a zoning lawyer, if you will, I've read a lot of laws. I've read a lot of statutes. I've read a lot of regulations, and all of that transfers over. So I think that I've got some skills that could help us as we navigate this. This is new. And I too recognize it as a big responsibility and want to make sure that we're doing everything we can to benefit and protect our community. Sort of a long answer there.
The second question. Okay. Second question. What is the long-term vision for you and your family have in our township for its growth?
So I think a lot of that is situational and depends on the circumstances, right? As I shared, I moved here for a more agricultural feel to where I was living. So I love that about this community. I love the fact that there are big farms that I can just drive by on my way home. I don't have a big farm, but I love being able to see that. And I want to make sure that we sort of keep that feel. I hope that the community wants to keep that feel. But I'm also not so naive to believe that there won't be changes, that there won't be progress, that there won't be perhaps the things that come to our town that want to be established. So I guess my point is it sort of depends on how things progress, but I hope that we can keep sort of what we have here and balance it with what benefits the community, what the community needs, kind of moving forward, if that makes sense.
All right. What have you done for the community in the past?
So specifically here in this community, I attend St. Mary's Church, so I'm a catechist there for the religious classes. My daughter's in first grade, and so I help with that. I volunteered with different events there. I'm involved at my daughter's school. I was a assistant cheerleading coach. I volunteer for parties and school field trips and things like that, and try to be helpful just as things arise. Prior to moving here, I did serve on different junior boards. So when I worked downtown, I served on the junior board of the Cincinnati Ballet, which exposed me to some of the procedural requirements that exist in various meetings, such as Robert's Rules and all of that stuff. So I sat on that board and the junior board for Dress for Success, which is another organization in downtown. So I volunteered in those capacities and worked with those groups. Those are the big ones that come to mind. Sure, I might be missing something.
Some of the whole lifetime.
I know, sort of on the spot, so forgive me, but I mean, those are probably the bigger ones that come to
We
mind.
still have some of them. You guys have any questions? Okay.
You can stay if you want to.
Okay.
Was the other people questions?
Sure.
Can answer. Oh, you can't follow first thing then.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
Okay, at this moment now, we will be waiting for the third candidate in. He's supposed to be here at 7:35, and his interview starts at 7:40, so we'll be on a little bit late.
Right.
So I was saying to you.
What?
No.
This is a prime example.
You have one registrar. So Tate Township, nobody has named change. Oh, what is she? Well, the website itself is, WordPress website, and it works. So that's just like, I think we did already. So,
Kristen.
the,
Nice to meet you.
yeah. I'm sorry. I don't.
Yeah, sure.
I think that's helpful, right? It's hard to remember everything that happens.
Right.
Yeah.
100%. So it's hard sometimes, you know, things get busy and.
Well, yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, I try to attend as many as
I think this goes back.
sometimes you miss some, right? Right, I have concerns. I live not far from the so I listen. I've not been negatively affected as some of the folks that have stood up. But you know, it's concerning. I think the way that it's been is the way that the legislature, you know, delegated, I guess, the obligations to the trustees as a lot of notice, right? We were sort of given a really big issue to tackle with one without a lot of notice. So I think that it's important to make sure that we regulate smartly, that we make sure that people are informed on and they have to things that they have to things that they have to change if they want to come. And I think that's important to have an issue one of the things I heard is nobody knew what was happening until the ground broke. And I certainly didn't. Although I had no moments in the memory. Moved in. I had no
Yeah.
I know. So, yeah, just, I think it's no idea. Yeah, in fact, I got a letter recently that was addressed to the folks who lived here before us, sort of something that their best friend to me about something or other. I forget. Yeah, and I was like, well, like now, right? Like it's already out there. So I think it's just important to really be intentional with what we do and how we regulate it. I've looked at a lot of regulation for other townships that would just around what people are doing, what I thought made sense, what I wasn't clear enough. My background is in litigation, so I would focus a lot on things after the fact, right? Kind of like lawsuits from the court. So when I know something, they always say, "Oh, I'm going to be arguing," right? What people said. That's how I've always been. Yes, I've been a lawyer for 14 years this year. Yeah, 14 years.
You go all over Ohio or just?
So I've been primarily in Cincinnati. I graduated from Case College of Law in Northern Pennsylvania. But since then I have worked for firms in Cincinnati. I've clerked for judges in Northern Kentucky, but otherwise we've been. Yeah, my family's from Dayton, Centerville, Ohio.
Okay.
We moved down. Well, I moved down here in college. So. Yeah.
Who's my son?
Hi, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Oh, the Claremont County?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, very good. Yeah.
You case privilege?
Indeed it was. I know, you don't get any of those, do you?
No,
No.
no.
Any of those. Probably not gonna teach you a case, right? I mean, who wants those? No, I've not. I just in private practice, for a firm who would represent a fair number of employees.
So what they do, I think, they basically hire all of the local attorneys and then they create a conflict for anybody who wants to get one of those attorneys.
So it's funny how that works. I've seen that happen on more than one, not particularly with them, but it doesn't surprise me. There were a couple of different cases where I've seen that.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my
So,
God.
when we moved out here, I went in-house to our company. Just realizing I missed a lot of things when you're focused on it. Everything you've done for 20 years. But yeah, and so I work in-house now, which is more different, but I wouldn't be there. Yeah, it was interesting. I'm sure you know, and I'm sure you get to see some interesting things about this. Sometimes, right? Like I sort of wish I didn't know that. I want to see how the sausage is made per se. Like, oh, good.
And so,
Yeah. It's
well, somebody must have
You
known.
also like the farm.
I got a call.
We are.
He called me.
Yeah, so we just have about
Not
8 years, I
happy.
guess. So, you know, enough.
I remember.
Goats.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. Not pigs yet. So we have, I say yes, my husband. No cuny cuny. Not my husband. Chickens this year.
Yeah.
We have chickens and goats and sheep and a cattle.
Sheep?
Just
Do you milk? Milk cow?
I do milk cow.
No way.
She had her first calf in November.
Ah,
She's a Jersey Guernsey mix. She's such a good girl. I love it. And then her cat was, of course, after Jersey Guernsey and the babies. So yeah, so he's around 4 months at the time flies on the side. Yeah.
A lot of
Sandy, but I must have liked it enough to stay.
Yeah.
I'd probably say
Yeah.
You gotta have the pig, to get the extra milk too.
Believe me, I've had that thought, right, as I'm trying to make
And now
something with all of my milk, and there's a bit of a learning curve to me. So I do that too. Yeah, if I can't use it or share it or turn it into butter or attempt mozzarella again, I put it on my countertop.
Girl buy it. Use that.
Yes.
Yeah, sure what you're getting, right?
I'm still so I love books, right? So I'm one of those people that sort of obsessively buys the books and then tries to find time to read them, right? So I've got like 3 books on my chest, but I'm like, I haven't made it worse than mozzarella. You know, maybe my kids are in spring break next week, so a little bit of time off. Maybe we'll figure out how to do that. Stretching. I'm not so good at stretching, but so it's fun. Oh, and we have bees too. We have bees.
Bees.
Yeah. So that one
So
is.
is your husband involved in a lot of that?
Oh yeah, has to be. There's no way.
Yeah, I was like.
There's no way.
Yeah, we got bees. And we did have goats for a while.
Yeah, I hope
We got
to
out
do
of that for a little bit. So we'll probably get
Yeah,
there.
it does. So we still have our calf, right? So we can calf share. So we just
That's
milk
good.
in the morning, which does help. For a while we were doing twice a day. There was some relief when I could see those in the morning. But I hope to milk. My goats are still pretty young. 2 of them, not quite a year, and then I just got 2 babies. So I've got a little bit of time before we'll get into the milking of that. But I hope to. I want to make the soap and the little the cheese and just have it. And so we'll see.
So my wife, we made goat cheese, and we put it in,
But you got the baby.
and then you can store it in plastic.
I know.
Yeah, just in olive oil. Yeah, without the refrigerator, we put it in the basement.
See, that's a memory you guys have
So
Oh my God.
olive oil and honey are amazing. Storage. Great. It's so fascinating. So much to learn. I think that's why I think it's so much fun, right? There's always something new to learn, as long as you don't overwhelm yourself
Well,
or
you
get
can't
overwhelmed.
do it all.
My husband keeps telling me that.
We actually, our bees, we actually make them, they actually make their own home.
Yeah.
So we catch the natural swarms.
So I'm hoping to do that this
Yeah.
spring.
Do you have a swarm trap?
My friend, a good buddy of mine who lives in Felicity, has a lot of experience in this. He's good. I told him because I had 6 copies, but I lost several over time. So I think I have 2 or 3 surviving kinds. So I told him I really want to buy these again. He's like, well, just one.
Yeah, if there's so many swarms around, you can catch them,
Exactly.
like grass oil or whatever.
Yep. So do you put them in like a box or
So
what do you
it's the regular lang straw.
It is
Or
a
are you
lang
talking
straw.
about
Yeah.
the catching the bees or?
But no, once you
Okay,
catch them, what
so
do you put them in?
once you get just regular lang straw and take the frames, we use medium frames, and then just put a piece of wood in the frame, and they actually build the cone out. And the theory is
Rather than having the flat centers.
so no foundation.
Yeah.
Takes them a while. Takes them longer,
Wow.
but they create their own size that they want. Whereas whereas we're forcing the bees
We are, yeah.
to have the size we want them to have
Based
for
on
their
the
cells.
centers, right.
For their cells. And so this way they kind of create their own cell size and they go with it. And it's smaller
Is it
than
really?
it is smaller than what than what we put out as a foundation for them
You just never know.
to
You just never know.
build off of. So that's kind of
Do you
very
find that to overwinter better?
yeah. I've got I've got one hive. But I've been growing it for the last 2 years. I haven't really been into it, but I've had that same hive for like
That's amazing.
so that same hive I had for 3 years. So it's gone through like.
2 or 3 winters already.
But I've got another friend. He's got probably 30 hives, 40 hives. He doesn't.
Those things are.
And I don't do anything
They're
with
awesome,
hives.
but they're
So,
Like I don't treat them. I don't do anything with
So
them.
when you started, they're like, well, you have to do this, you have to look at them every 6 weeks, you have to do this, you have to treat, you have to feed, and you have to do all this stuff, and I'm like,
I don't feed them.
it's amazing, right? I think last year I messed up and when I lost the hives is, I think I did have some that were a little too big, and I probably should have let them get them off the ground, and I didn't. Who knows, right? Or I just had bees that.
And then after the summer solstice, they stopped making comb. They quit making comb.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Somebody told me that they quit making comb when you stop feeding them. So interesting. I'll have to pay more attention this year.
Yeah. They
Which
know,
makes sense,
like,
right? Because they know.
start filling it with
Start
honey.
filling it.
Yeah.
And then you say the wild bees, but hardier.
Way harder.
That's what my friend said. He's like, trick is doing this, and he's, I don't know how long he's been doing it. Maybe like 5 or 6 years, a couple more years than I have, I feel like. He's like, I always find more success with local. He's like, not just locally raised, like not even necessarily a new, but like a swarm. Like that's where they're really hardy and do well. So.
Yeah, that disease is just,
Mhm.
They're on my property. I've got one hive in a tree on my property. So they hang out in trees. There's a little nice tree.
I think these are so fascinating. That's one of my favorite things is to kind of, I have stopped checking them as much, right? I feel like when you first start, they're like, you can check them once a month, and I'm like, every 2 weeks. Now I'm like, I'll just pull a frame to make sure nothing looks totally out of whack and move on. But, yeah, I love watching them.
But yeah, I just.
I was thinking about that information. It makes perfect sense. I mean, I never really thought about that influencing like the size. And it makes a lot of sense.
And what happens too is sometimes they'll start building it wonky, so you got to get in there and then tear it up a little bit, and then you take rubber bands and band them. Band them, and the crazy thing is what they do is they will cut those rubber bands and spit them out of the hive. They do. I'll come back like 2 weeks later.
And it'll just be like out on the front, right? Like, I don't know what game you were playing, but that's
what they do.
So fascinating.
We do a lot of we do like the Eden garden.
I've heard of that.
So all
Fascinating.
those trees. So probably for the last 8-10 years almost. I get it.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome. Yeah.
So I got hundreds of trees.
Fantastic. Yeah, we put a lot into the no-till gardening and the vaccine and that one of
Yeah, hugel culture.
Hugel culture, yeah. So we sort of dabble a little bit in all those different things.
We've had pretty good success.
Have you?
Yeah, so we don't tell.
Yeah.
Don't see anybody.
Yeah, my dad, 11. So my parents moved here with us about a month after. Mhm. Yeah, they were still in Centerville. So he moved with us, and he always laughs until he died. Not too late.
You learned that milk the other day.
No, ironically, he grew up on a dairy farm,
Oh, really?
and
He's
he's
I
not.
know, it's like.
He's like, I don't know what you're working on. This is awesome for me. And he's like, like,
It'll take your blood.
why, that's what I tell them, I'm like, you're the one that knows the most, but like, you're the one not, like, that wants nothing to do with
He
it.
just.
I went up there.
I think somebody won't get it right when the cap was on.
And you get everything settled down and you look around and
He's
it's
like,
like,
actually, she was. I'm like,
sometimes
you
not.
I've seen it before.
I'd say, yeah, it's worth
So
it.
it's, yeah. But you really quite well.
I remember getting that confident in the school, that first child,
Yeah, we're out there at 5:30.
If you didn't, if you weren't down there, then they went. They're mad.
That's that is, again, the benefit we have because she's got a cap on her, she's much more flexible, right? So even on like Saturdays, we're later. Because we just leave the cap on her longer.
So we used to do.
It
Goats. I don't understand, never understood why.
It's terrible,
That
it's just
never
a lot
made-
of work for
You
you.
know, it never made any sense to me. Like, I just split it 50-50.
What kind of goats do you have?
We had an Alpine, we had a Sauna, and then, yeah, so we did like the Alpine.
Yeah, so I've got two, overhaul seat Alpine mixes actually, and then the two babies I just got are mediums.
You did that.
Yeah, they should be good producers from everything that I've read and understood. It's so funny, they just use
Wow.
yeah.
And then, do you have any
Alright.
ducks at all?
We are
Whatever.
great.
So we've cornered the market on Muscovy ducks.
I might actually, that's one of the
Yeah,
things I
So
was
we
gonna
have
do.
Muscovy ducks.
Really.
So
I mean,
we've
The
had
one, they've
them,
got the red,
we've
right?
had them since,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we've had them since.
Oh, wow.
I think they just bred. We just keep them around and they fly away.
It's almost like it's
Pretty birds.
It's amazing. It's also, I might have to figure out the name
My
and
son,
everything.
he's raising Peking.
Okay.
He's hatching. He's gonna sell that off.
That's awesome. Well, I'll have to remember that, because we have a pond, actually. And so, when we first moved in, I was like,
You know, just see,
Make
sure, but like,
Make sure
you know,
that they-
I wasn't really doing the other stuff. And, we've been talking about it. So we'll see.
I had a funny story. I walked out and saw ducks and puppies and other bird that I thought was a duck. Four, like 3 or 4 of these ducks. They were on top of a chicken. They were like plucking the feathers out of the thing. And I'm like,
What is happening?
these birds, these ducks ganged up on that one bird.
Oh, a chicken.
Yeah.
Stay out, man. You know, we have quite a few chickens.
But he didn't come back.
Right. So we've got quite a few chickens, and right across the street, I think a pair of hogs that built in that.
Oh.
And I'm like, okay, it's just, we're just like over, right? We just keep going, because there's like
First thing you
20-some birds, you're just like,
everything
fish in a
was
barrel.
chicken.
Fish in a barrel.
The hogs, the coyotes.
Right now, we're on the stretch.
Yeah, they like me.
We're right next to some woods, and it's every spring.
They're vicious.
They are.
I didn't know they did.
How old is,
They're brutal. No, they're brutal. Yeah, we had some
Young
guineas.
ones.
We have some
yeah, they
guineas.
are.
These things are
They're so dumb,
yeah.
but I really like them. I can't help it.
Yeah, they
Like,
are. They're,
You know?
they're really deep.
They're really loud. So we had 5, and maybe as a blessing in disguise, 3 of them were killed, and then we just left 2. And they alert, but not nearly as loud. So I think their neighbors are grateful. They sometimes would wonder, welcome them home.
And then you left the mushroom shop?
Do you guys grow any fruit trees or anything?
We started an apple orchard.
yes.
How are
Sort
they
of
doing?
go big or go home.
Yeah. That's kind of what we're doing.
Last year was not the best year for how dry it was.
Yeah.
It was rough. So I was just checking them the other day. I don't think we lost any.
Yeah.
They definitely didn't throw a lot.
Where'd you get them from?
Some of them I ordered. So actually, most of them were online orders.
That's,
Charlie Brother Nurseries.
Brother, yeah.
Those were the trees I ordered last year.
that was Wednesday, wasn't it?
And then before that,
That was Wednesday,
I can't
correct?
remember the name of it.
No, yeah.
We ended up getting lucky, ironically. I ordered like 4. 3 of them were extremely damaged to shipping, so they replaced them immediately, but let me keep the ones.
Nice.
So I claimed them
Right.
anyways, and
Yeah.
we'll see how it goes, right? So that's in pro level for so fast, but I just haven't. There's still a lot, just moving slowly, so.
Yeah, so a lot of their root stocks are actually
See what the state is on the floor out there?
you have to look at the root stocks. It's all clay soil.
Oh, yeah,
So
and
you
it's
can,
wet,
you
yeah.
can write, you know, like.
Post on Facebook
You
was
can
3
then-
days ago.
3 days ago.
The post on Facebook was 3 days ago.
Probably
3 days ago?
add some candy and some ash and stuff.
Yeah,
Like
it's lime, down lime, because that actually helps with that. Because apparently clay soil is pretty nutrition. Just trying to get it released. Just a little lime, yeah. And then, I have really love with, pear trees. Pears actually,
What do you
work,
think?
we have to spray them, just
Yeah,
pears.
we've had some disease issues,
So-
we had some cedar rustic.
Yeah, and that's really big with apples.
Now,
Really big with apples, if you have any cedar.
I'm sure we do, actually, I'm ironically.
You can tell because on the cedar trees, it has this yellow
We
fungus
saw-
looking
we saw-
thing.
Yeah.
That's from,
So ironically, our orchard is like right here, and my neighbors have a couple of trees right here. Those are crazy.
Yeah.
So-
there are some varieties you can grow that are more resistant, like a lot of the
Yeah,
rustic
just need-
stuff. are less resistant.
I grew, or the ones I ordered last year was Christian specific. Cedar
Yeah.
rustic, like freedom and
Yeah, yeah.
like those. I ordered
Yeah,
several other
because
specific.
I planted one of those.
Does it
But,
still?
yeah, we planted mostly.
So what we'll do is this, we'll find out this Monday. For Alan can't be here. Give Strauss a chance to come in Monday. And then, Elder show details later right now. So what we can do is post that. That's right, because we don't know yet.
How's email? But it's out there.
Don't wanna make sure that,
Yes, you are.
I mean,
Yeah, right here.
Everybody's somebody.
Here's the phone.
Yeah.
What do they, I mean, I'm sure, they got the email, right?
I guess we get these.
Did you get an email?
What we're doing, we're calling people that didn't show and maybe give them another opportunity.
try to give them a second chance.
Second chance. The one, Keller, he's way up there now. He was notified, like everyone else, someone else was back. And then the guy was involved in the accident. We'll try to do the other two on Monday. Everybody chance.
So we have 3 lots. So
Alan Osmond, this is John Wilson, Tate Township, trustee of the 7th Friday.
we just sometimes some years you get
Sorry about the circumstance.
but this year
7:25.
From the Duke in them, the Blues.
Yeah, 5
If you get the Asian pears, they're like apples. So they're round, just like apples. They taste super sweet. They taste like butterscotch.
Yeah.
The Asian pears. Spring.
Yeah, and you're not doing it.
I found that a lot of the Asian stuff works really, really well around here. Yeah, I mean, but we don't look at all these places, all Asian stuff.
Asian mom.
Yeah, and yeah, so it's almost like all this stuff's come over. It's almost like,
You can notice tomorrow.
trees of it. Out of California, like they send a bunch of trees.
Yeah, but I don't think we should so we're.
Trees of it.
You get some fake trees, too. I'm gonna get them.
Yeah, not from there. I would have been somewhere else, but I've got tons of pigs. Shoot, I love it. We barely get any. Big by the
Okay.
trees in it. Trees. And Joe, they're like 4 foot tall. All these.
Heirloom.
Yeah. Animals here. And, apples, cherries.
They put them on a roof.
Yeah. Yeah, and the other thing too is decide you want to change your apples to something else. Don't pick them up, just overgraft them. Yeah, so you can take scion wood from another tree, that variety that you want, just graft into it. So you basically cut the top off. You know, and just graft it into it. So I've been doing grafting too.
So you were calling.
Yeah.
I planted several of them last year.
They're so alive. What kind did you wear before?
Yes, there's
I have some, because I ordered 4, and I gave 2 to my mom, and I kept 2, and I can't remember what one.
How large are they? How
That money, what's that?
They were pretty small, I feel like, they were not huge.
we got from trees. I just planted some.
Yeah.
The one that they sent me.
Oh, mine was not that big, mine was pretty big, so I'm glad you said that, because I only have the green, and I'd like to plant some more.
Those you can get cuttings and direct plant.
So
Same
that's
thing
what
with like the currants and stuff.
Yeah.
Like the currants.
Yeah.
We got currants.
Okay.
Blueberries.
We got blueberries. We got
I love blueberries, I know, the ones like my favorite dishes though.
blueberries. Yeah, you have to plant them. Because my wife, she had me on, she's like, you spent $1,000 on all this stuff to plant these blueberries that I'm like, what it says to do, I'm gonna do what it says.
I think they're
So I
really
just
good.
all these holes.
Hey, don't know what happened here in Pete.
I probably spent because it likes.
Yes, ask that.
It's
I
acid.
didn't think so.
So I've never,
I
I know.
And we need to add sulfur to that acid soil. So you get like acidic sulfur,
We had discussed.
krills, it's called sulfur krills. And basically, like it's sulfur that releases over that.
No, ours not,
So that was only.
on school, they didn't survive last year because they didn't.
Yeah.
Somehow missed watering them, like we thought we had a sprinkler going and we thought it was hitting it, and it was not. By the time we realized it.
Yeah, the frustrating part of it. You're really excited and then you realize like.
We got 30 days.
Yeah, believe me, I've been there. Like, it's
We,
not-
Well, and that's the thing, right, like, just look at it and you're like, okay, try again, right?
It helps too if
I
you get good with
did
stock.
like-
You get it from the right places.
Where did you get your experience?
I'm from Grand Champs up in Michigan. I'm not sure if they still sell them up they Grand Champs.
I have down here in my notes, Thursday, 21:24 at 9:54.
I think it was
And that's why we're.
so I put in a route. And some of them died, but you know, that was. So,
Had some beans. I like 5 or 7. Like they, I can see like 2 or 3 still, so I don't know.
well, I really
So they
watched
come-
too.
We will set up a video.
Get the free mulch.
He's out of town
Township.
for spring break.
Yeah, the free mulch for sure.
You think?
That's all right.
Yeah, we can set up a Zoom meeting. We could probably set up a Zoom
I have
meeting.
2 daughters.
In an
I
office or
have
something.
their birthdays are literally next week, so.
Or in
I
here,
gotta
we
get
can
used to
do
new
it.
switches. I have a soon to be 7-year-old and a soon to be 9-year-old.
Hold on one second.
And then they.
We're still learning the ropes.
Are.
So,
That's a great place.
They're having a lot of fun. Yeah, they're really,
Hey, Ron.
they do, and they run around and play outside a lot. No, it's, you know, they've got tablets and in the winter, there's TV and food too, but man, when that sun comes out, it gets a little bit warmer, it's like,
Yeah.
it's great. Tear outside, run around in the dirt, take a bath at the end of the night, and the water's brown. It's a good day,
There
right?
you go.
Yeah, it's fun.
Okay.
That's right, now they're clean.
Do you guys have a creek or anything?
No, just the pond. So we've got
I
the
said,
pond,
I got
and
that
then when it rains a lot, there's like little ditches and creeks that form on some of our property, but yeah, just the pond.
Is the property pretty flat or is
It
it?
is really cool.
Guys.
Maybe 7 o'clock on Monday.
Yeah, hey Ron, can you email me, just email me something that I'll have your email and I will, I'll email you, I'll set up a meeting and I'll email you and. Okay. Okay, well, I'm O'Neill at Tate Township. Look for something.
Yep, and like I said, we are.
Oh.
At 7 o'clock.
Yes.
Okay, thanks. Yep, very good. Okay, thanks, Sean.
Cool.
Okay, to update everybody on that one, that is the second person. He was supposed to be the third person. He was supposed to be the third person here for the interview. It's not gonna be able to do it since we were giving, obviously, Alan Osmond is one of the first candidate supposed to be here, and since we were giving him a second opportunity for, Monday, 3:25 at 7 p.m., to give him a second chance, we're gonna have Ron also in here to, make up his interview, Ron Shouts. Okay, we still have one more gentleman that's supposed to be on his way.
That's easier.
Okay, all right. So is everybody good on that, on the time? Do you understand? It will be
Was it Monday, 7 o'clock?
Monday at 7 p.m., yes.
We're here for one come in,
And I apologize for this, but
and then
it's,
Ron Schaus is one of those Zoom part
I apologize for this, but obviously there's instances in life here that's out of our control, and this is,
more than fair.
yeah. We want to make sure everybody, that they were our top 4 candidates. We're just trying to give all of them a chance to be able to get here for the interview. Okay, at this time, I would like to ask the 4th candidate, Caleb Taylor, to come up to the podium here, and that way we can start your interview.
Good evening.
The-
Hope you all are loving my outfit this evening. I promise I own business casual outfits and suits. I actually rock a suit, so
We all wear certain suits.
yeah. I tell you what, you two, I bet you two look beautiful in suits. Kathy, if you wore a suit, I bet you'd look beautiful as well.
We got a few questions to ask.
Of course.
Okay, Caleb, would you like to tell us a little about yourself and your background?
Of course. My name's Caleb Taylor. I was actually born in Bethel. My family moved to Akron, Ohio for 9 months when my dad got an associate pastor position up at a church there when I was 4 years old. We moved to Mount Award when I was 8, and I moved back to Tate Township actually this past June. My wife and I, we got married in July. We purchased a house in May and moved here in June. And then we actually have our first child on the way now. So we in the Taylor household, we believe, raising them right and raising them quick and raising them early. So aside from that, I do own a business, TIC Properties. We are a real estate investment company. We buy, sell houses. We buy and flip houses. And we've been doing that for quite some time now. And actually the meeting I was at tonight, the reason I'm late, and one, I scheduled the meeting about 5 o'clock, 4 or 5 o'clock today, and it was actually to help fund some projects that we were planning on doing. So alongside that, my family owns the fitness center here in Bethel, and as you can tell, I love going there. And my family also owns the daycare here in Bethel. My father has pastored Faith Chapel Ministry since 2005, which is on the west side of Tate Township there in Bantam. And I lead worship there. I run all the finances for all 3 entities, the gym, the daycare, and the church. I also lead worship at the church. And then we are involved with the different ministerial aspects here in Bethel as well as the township. So that's a little bit about that. I also am an insurance agent. I've been doing that since 2016. So I've been really involved in self-employment and then running my own business for some time now. 28 years old now, and I believe that the most important thing in democracy and in this republic that we have been able to have since 1776 is involvement. I believe that is the most important thing for people to do to get involved, whether that's voting, whether that is taking public office as a public servant. So that is why I'm here, and I look forward to speaking with you all tonight.
Okay, first question, why are you applying for a vacancy for trustee position, and how many township meetings have you been to in the past 18 months?
So I've not been to any township meetings for Tate Township. I have gone to a couple in Pierce Township. I believe the most important thing in government is local government. The more local, the more impact on society, the more impact on people that you can have. I believe that local government is the most important form of government. Local government is the most involved. It's the most as the founders wanted more localized government. That's why we live in a federal system. So I believe that, especially at the township level, since we're not a village, at the township level, that's one of the most important ways to get involved in government.
Question? Okay. What is your long-term vision you and your family have in our township for its growth?
So long-term vision, I love this township. I love the Bethel area. I love everything about this, whether it's the quietness, staying away from the city. My business, we do a lot of work in the city, and I think every day I'm in Cincinnati. Like, thank God I live where I live. I love the smallness. I love how close knit the communities are. I love seeing small businesses thrive, and for long-term goals, obviously we want to stay in Tate Township, whether it's where we are now for a few years to living closer. Actually, we want to end up building close to where our church is. So long-term goals are to stay in Tate Township. But I love how small it is. I love how community-driven it is. I love how people are nice. And I love the nature of the area. It's not crowded. It's a beautiful, pristine area. It's very clean. It's a very clean township, and that's what has drawn us to wanting to be in Tate Township. It's small, quiet, and clean.
Okay. Third question. What have you done for the community in the past?
So our church, we've had food banks. We've been involved in different things, whether it's with Empower Youth. We have been with Empower Youth to do some of their different events and stuff, and really just anything that our church has been involved in with the community. I've been tied into the community through that.
Three questions.
Sounds good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks for coming, last notes.
Okay, everybody, as we've explained, we have 4 candidates here. Alan Osmond, Kristen Steinley, Ron Schaus, and Caleb Taylor. We've seen 2 of them. We've asked them 2 of them the questions. And again, because of setbacks in life for the other 2 candidates, we are giving them a chance. Hopefully, we're going to have another interview for Monday, March 25th at 7 p.m. here at the Firehouse. And I'd like to thank everybody for coming out, because this is what we need, is public participation. We appreciate everything, and we appreciate all the candidates, all 15 of them that we had to send in resumes. And thank you, because it is great that we had that big of a turnout. And so, if you would, I'd like to close.
Let's make a motion, please.
I'll second. Thanks, everybody. You have a nice evening.